Yo, I don't know. Just wanted to go live. Gonna work on a couple little paintovers, and just wanted to see if anyone was around, chit chat, whatever. Oh, I should have tweeted this person. Oh gosh, I forget even who it was. I had asked for romantic miniatures, and it took them a little bit, but they sent this one in. Yo, Wolf Lord Lewis, nice of you to join. Oh, I gotta put that up here. Dink. Hope you're having a good Monday. I seen you've been working on quite a few minis, both you and Mia. I've been doing a bunch of videos. That's basically what I've been doing. I was trying to figure out how quick I can make some of those videos. And I wanted to do a little naval scene. I haven't done much water. Oh, I should tweet people. Let me tweet. There. How do I get a tweetable link right here? Working on aggressors as I'm bored of painting capes. Yeah. God, I really like those the Black Templar models. I've been enjoying those. Oh no, it wants me to log in here. No thanks. Copy this. All right, I'm trying to tweet this out. Aggressors. Aggressors, are they the ones kind of like jump packy? Like aggressors. I'm getting those confused. I almost know them. Let me, how do I paste this? Photos down here. What is this? Huh. How can I check Discord right now? Both my devices are used. I will check it in a second. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, that's what it is. There's the big. Oh, I know which ones you mean now. They got those big arm things. Oh, yeah. Warning. Bit rate is a little lower. Have you, Wolflord? Have you been able to play any games like recently? I should research a little more with the lighting on this, but it's kind of like why I'm doing one of these practice ones. So I just take a best guess, kind of learn at what I want to learn, and then bam, bam, bam. I like naval battle games for some reason. I think it's the same reason I like mech games. Oh no, you haven't been able to play? Yeah. I'm gonna end up. I know it's time to do mine soon. I got it planned. I think I'll get to start painting, and it sucks. I'm in the states because I ordered that. You know that the GW subscription where you get the miniatures. But I ordered it like last year, and we only got the first two, so we're like literally like a half year behind you guys on those, if not more. And but I got the first two, and I was gonna, paint though, like literally open the package, assemble it, spray it, and paint it. You know what I mean? And do like a live stream like that, just because it'll be my first miniature, and I don't know, like literally 20 some years. I figured that would make a decent stream. We can all laugh at me. That one I'm getting ready to call done soon. This one I want to do something cool with. Oh, what layer is this? That's why you make it on a new layer. You been playing any video games lately? I like this color and concept. I find the execution a bit lacking. I never use layer masks. That's probably a good idea. Hmm. Invert it. There we go. Now I'm not so clueless. There we go. Try this one. Yo, MacFrog, what up? What are you working on? It's so weird now. I get used to doing those Twitter chats, and you actually just talk to the person. So it's different, like, seeing just text. It's weird. Hopefully they're getting some headway on your house. And you seem like you've been doing a lot of hobbying too. You putting out a lot of content, a lot of different stuff you're trying. I dig it. I didn't watch today's video. What did you post there earlier? I didn't see that one. Oh, you're doing some writing. I I wouldn't say I can't write, but what I will say is I spend more time editing and I just cut everything. I keep cutting stuff down and then so I don't like yeah, my writing is like real short and like to the point generally. The Battletech video is just a repost. I have to try reposting with some of my old vids that got like 20 views or 10 views or something now and just repost some. But the the animated thing for me is getting decent traction, so I've tried to put a bunch together so I can start scheduling them uh, on my shorts timeline. The horde, yeah. That's the new one. That's what you're painting the horde army one. I think it's the Vir, or I don't know what they call them in Kings of War, but the rat ones. I know in what I did in the Dead Zone stuff, they were Veermen. Which reminds me, I gotta do a couple of those. I did a bunch of those videos because I was figuring out like what the limits of that stuff is, like what makes it spin and how it folds the image and stuff. So I was trying to like I went through a whole bunch of Paintovers to see which ones work and which ones don't. Oh, this could be cool. that's how I that's how I always feel. Like that's my artistic thing. It's like, oh, it could be cool, but then I gotta like try to make it happen. So in my mind it's the exciting point. It's like, oh, I can see, like I don't see it. I never like kind of see it clearly in my mind. I always see like a vague picture. I think some people are really good at seeing a complete visual thing. I get more of like a feeling and some stuff and I go that way. So I usually don't like have a super clear vision of what I want. And I think that's too, like I learned with a lot of these, some just trigger my whatever it is in my imagination that my brain maybe it like matches something that I remember from before or something I've done or whatever, and then I'll be like, oh, that'll work. You ever play any naval games, Mechanical Frog? You ever play anything like what, like a World of Tanks or a World of Warships or something along there? Or like, did you ever play a like a what Command and Conquer or one of those? Oh, wait, I gotta see if I can do one of these. Yeah, okay, you're right. That's the same thing. You mech, okay, Mech Warrior and The BattleTech video game is very almost like much like a Command and Conquer to me almost. I mean, it's not like that real time strategy type thing, but I get it. Same principle, almost XCOM or something. Oh yeah, the yeah, that was a great game. I liked. I used to be super competitive with like video games, and then got more to just the enjoyable side and stuff. And I had a lot of fun with like the Command and Conquer. I used to love Command and Conquer with my one friend who we played a ton of games together, so we really knew how each other played. And so we'd play online, us two versus another two, and just the things we could pull off, and we'd win the like vast majority of our games, and it was just I loved doing that. That was some of my more like most fun games like that. Yeah. So yeah, me too. Like the civilizations and all those. That's because that's where I started, like the D&D type games, and then even on the like the Commodore 64, they had a lot of good games. And 120, the Commodore 128, that put out a lot of good games. I want all right. So like I'm sitting here and I'm drawing and whatever, and they got your Alexas, you have your computer on. I have them all on because I need them for stuff, and I want a like imagine a game like Civilization or like a Mars colonization type game, but where it's all audible. So you could be like, build a base on, A4, and then like, it would send out people to move it so that I could literally have it on my desk, never need to hit any key, not on my desk, but like on my monitor, never hit any keys or anything, and then just do it audibly. So you could just look up and see it and be like, oh, okay, yeah, I have that guy. So then you could build a civilization, but you're not like totally dedicated to it. You know what I mean? Because I think it's almost like a desk companion civilization, like built for someone who's kind of working and doing stuff, but still likes those long form games. And if I could pull it up and not have to worry about it, I would more likely be have it up, and then I'd sit down, I'd see, I'd be like, oh, do this, do that, and then just go back to work. And I always think about something like that these days. Oh wait, I gotta see if I can play a video straight through here. How do I do this? I want to see if they. Oh, I was putting this one. The glass effect is kind of dumb, I think, but I still like it. Okay, I gotta trim them. Oh, this next one's gonna be loud too, so mute anything. I see. The glass effect is so corny, but I still like it. This one came out good. I need to put more stuff on this one. Yeah, I'm gonna make that one a little more lively now. This one came out way better than I thought it would. That one's cool. The the deer saved from getting all warped bad. That one's still my favorite. The ground came in great. I don't know how to double click it. Yeah. All right, let me get back to my screen. And cool, I'm glad to hear that. I have a little more progress on the house tomorrow. All right, I gotta light this thing up. This thing's pretty cool. That's a good important one. Let me put back on. Okay, thanks. My audio Yeah, yeah, I'm gonna adjust that. Hey, Forger Mars, thanks for swinging by. I hope it's a okay Monday for you. I'm gonna need to adjust. Yeah, oh yeah, I see my microphone is coming in really light today. Huh. Let me try to adjust that. I'm just chilling a little bit. Figure I'd work on it. I'd done so much of the audio, I kind of like neglected the YouTube live streams. I'm like, all right, let me get a couple more in there. Did you get to chill out tonight, Forger Mars? You do any hobbying, or are you just gonna crash from work? I know you've been a busy man. And it really feels weird speaking to you and you not speaking back because I'm so used to our Wednesday stream and we just like chat. Now I'm like talking to you and you can't talk back. I need a and I don't know how to rip audio. Hey, yo, thanks for making it. I need Ewan. Is it Ewan Wilson? Oh man, see, I'm bad with names, so I'm probably gonna butcher your name, and it's like a four-letter word that you can't mispronounce, and I'll mispronounce it. But thank you for making it. I need to get the, I or wait for Forger Mars. I need to get the audio. I don't know how to rip audio off yet, but I just want to get the one from Tropic Thunder, which says, "Oh hey, I'm David Beckham." I need that. Poor Dave. Dave, in case you're watching, I really don't have anything against you. I just think it's funny. I know Dave gets around in the UK, so he'll probably be like, "I know these guys have been watching this Artist Empire stuff. I'm going to check it out." And then we're bashing them. Oh, a Wookiee bowcaster. What did I see? Oh, okay. Thank you. Now I know who it is. Appreciate you coming by. I was working on this was it was Lyle Lowry's. He just had it in the White Dwarf, and he had the picture. And I was like, I had to tell him to like send me that thing. The ghost with this was so epic. I'm like, I want to light them, light the ghosts and have them. I'll work on the lighting kind of next, so his like chest gets lit up from and everything. So like they're the lit haunted units, and I thought it would make a really good one. And I don't know about this ghost in the top left, but I think it might work out as one of those 3D ones too. So that's kind of why I really wanted to work on this one. I think it might make something sharp. A Wookiee bowcaster. Soon I'll be doing mine. It's gonna be it'll be a fun stream. No, I wish it was. I always wimp out on drinking. I should have like I would, and I don't mind a drink. I like one. I just never really even think about it. I'll have to change that. I'll have to drink more. My New Year's resolution: drink more. but I would end up, I would, I'll drink for both of us. I would end up more like with, oh, see, in the evening, I want white Russians. The problem with white Russians is my same with like those macchiato triple caramel drinks where I just, down them. So it's like if I have a white Russian, I would need like, I don't know, a 40 ounce, a 40 ounce white Russian because it's creamy and I just want to drink it. I do have a like I did Red Bull. Like that was my big. I shouldn't even drink it. I've been too like amped up lately anyway. But all my blood work was good. All my stuff was good. So I'm like, all right, I'm good. Have a Red Bull. Ooh, I'll give it a pop. I'll probably have to recolor all this or re-highlight it, but at least I know what I'm looking for. Yeah. Get some bevs in. Do a little drink and stream. Wednesday, maybe, yes. I will try to remember. I'll have booze on the, and then it feels like you're getting away with something. I'll have booze on stream. It's like not even a real job. You don't even, I'm like, it feels like you're like drinking at work. I'm like, it's not even like anything real. What are you, can't drink on the job, man. And then without Forge of Mars, it's weird, like just talking to yourself. I mean, I'm talking to you guys, obviously, but oh yeah. Oh, I'd be drinking alone. I'm gonna be imagining. Maybe I should have recorded you. I should have recorded some of the conversation, and then I would just play audio bits, and then I would reply. So I'd like play you, and then I would just reply. Oh, I can't put the. Yeah, I gotta adjust those audios. I'm not gonna play them because everyone's mic it ruins it, but it's always 5 o'clock somewhere. Yeah, and I'm such a light drinker. I can have them whatever. I have like whatever. I kind of I like a good variety. What did I have? Oh, okay. An old fashioned was one of the last things I had, and I really liked it. I generally like old fashions, and I can't remember a whiskey sour. And a whiskey sour. My friend makes a really good whiskey sour. I'm gonna be Forge of Marsless, and I shouldn't even be working on this. I should be working on putting my merch out right now. That's what I should be doing. But I thought this would make a cool one. I should get rid of the base, kind of. It's all about the base. Why is that happening? Oh, see, that's different. Let me take that out of there. What's going on there? No trouble. No trouble. grave. Maybe I'll put some more posts. I could put like a little. They must. Maybe I'll look for that. Maybe I'll look online for like a little. Like GW have some like mausoleum or something like right behind them. Maybe something. How do I do this? Right. Like I don't want anything too big or anything starts taking too much attention. And I literally try, but I'm trying to think if I put something maybe right there, maybe. I don't know if it'll read too much if I put something in here. So I generally just try, like, I really am trying to force all the eye into it. So I hate putting extra stuff because I feel like it it's almost like, to me, this is one of those, you know, how in comic books they used to, what was it, like they would have the Marvel Universe comic books, and they used to just have, all they'd have is a kind of like a posed picture of the hero with a super simple background, usually just a color, and then it would have like all their stats and their history and stuff like that. It's kind of how I see these. In commissions, I'll go a little further, and but even those, I still like to keep the background. I notice that every time I look at it in the background, and even if I think it's cool, I'm like, I just like it better when it's kind of always focused on the unit. So I kind of debate on that a lot of times. Like, do I put some more stuff in or not? Oh, that'll be cool with a good glow. Heck yeah. Hmm. Okay, let me leave it on here. I'm going to turn it down though, and I'll make that bigger. And I need background music. So I'm going to have to take care of that for next time. Like when I do one of these streams, maybe for Wednesday, so I can lull people to sleep. I never read comics. You know, is this why Megan Trainor did make it as a DJ? Yes. I I love the concept, and I bought a lot of comics and read a lot of comics, but I didn't like many comic book stories. Like even when I liked the X-Men, like back when they were, getting popular in like the 80s and 90s, and I liked those, but the stories never got me. Like especially like the stories were always so convoluted, and like a lot of like say Marvel comic stories or whatever, and I liked kind of a cleaner, more of a point story. Comics, they just, oh, someone died, oh, they're back, oh, they didn't really die, oh, it was a different universe, oh, whatever. It was just, and the stories got too crazy. And so like short ones and ones that were tied up, I tended to like, or at least a little more like simplified, non crazy. I was a filthy weeb, so I was all manga. No, manga I dabbled in back in the day because a lot of those artists are just amazing. Like the sense of action, the cities, they did mechs, just like everything. I mean, there's so many things, and they were approaching it, obviously different than a lot of the American style artists. So it was something I always tried to draw on because I loved their sense of action and all that. But never read many. And so now I still go to the store and pick some up, super rarely, but I kind of like to see some of the art. There's some darn good ones with art out there, but that's kind of mostly what I start with. Like I need to be like, okay, is the art really cool, and is it like a world I would want to see, and then I kind of go from there. What are you working on? Ran in the Gray World is really good, as is a her X machine gun. I want to say I heard, maybe I just making that up. I want to say I heard of the X machine gun one, but now I'm not so sure. But it sounds like I have. The other one I didn't. Maybe I'll check someone out. Cause I need to get caught up on some stories. Like I still have to listen to the Audible books. I listened to a bit more, and I have to start one because I finished that other one. But I want to kind of see what's going on in those worlds and kind of what works. So I want to hear a book and then see what the feedback and what people are saying about it, just to kind of get the general vibe. It's the same thing I've been doing with those audio talks. I learn a lot. I learn a lot of just like I don't know what people like. I guess some more minotaurs. Minotaurs are kind of cool. I never knew much about them till this last year. And when I paint a space marine, I think I'll paint that space marine a thing. I guess maybe I'll just make up my. No, it's kind of dumb to make my own chapter. What I should do when I paint it, I will paint it the popular flavor of the day marine for more hits on YouTube. That's probably my best plan. They'll be, what paint scheme did you pick? I picked the one that gets the most hits on YouTube search. Like, what determined your scheme? YouTube algorithm. Yeah, I heard a little bit about their deal with the Lamenters, and then I heard something about the whole like whatever they were going to side with. Um, who are the people who oversee the Earth or whatever, and they were trying to run a coup on. I don't know how to say his name. Gilliman. I should learn to say their name. I'd be the worst. They like get me on some like 40K presentation show. I mispronounce everybody's name. It's the Gulaman. Oh, I should have blurred this first. See, I always do this too. If I'm gonna motion the edges of these ghosts, I should have done that first before I put the High Lords of Terra. Thank you. That's it. See, Lee knows what's up. I do enjoy that. That's why I have so much fun on Wednesdays. I get to get caught up on all kinds of stuff, like decades worth. It's like when you haven't seen a friend and you haven't talked to him for a while. My one friend, like, you haven't seen me in a while. I was like, oh, just giving it more time so you could, so you have something new to say. I'm like, is anything new? He's like, no. I'm like, see, okay, that is, they are to the, I like their scheme and stuff. Like I was digging that. Oh, oh, hey, I'm David Beckham. This time with better highlights. He's back, and this time with better highlights. Let's read it. Let's flash this one up on the screen. Lesser known thing about the Minotaurs is that they come from loyalist Iron Warriors gene stocked. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, do we have conflict? Aren't they chimeric? You decide. You won't find any answers from me. That's the one thing. You guys can make all kinds of stuff up I wouldn't even know. I mean, I'm sure that would be a cool one. I would love to do. What would I do? Like, you know what? It's odd. I've always been Space Wolves, but the the stupid 30K. Oh gosh, I can never. I ask you guys this a million times. It's not the Iron Warriors. It's the yellow ones with the Iron Fists. I love the yellow Iron Fists. I don't know why. Probably because it's apparently I'm all about the bling now. I'm all about sparkles and bling. I didn't know that about myself until I started doing Paintovers. Oh, that's cool. Your first was the homebrew EC. Okay, it's why they're under direct control of the High Lords of Terra. All right. Yeah, Imperial Fists. Because the breachers, and they did almost like I seen some of them. They almost had like the Romanesque type crests on their helms, and they would have the breacher helmets and stuff. And I just in the, like the big rivets and all that. Yeah, it's the fists. And I just for some reason the and I don't really even know anything about. Well, I know they're like the defense ones. The siege. I don't know if they're necessarily siege, but the defensive. Yeah, see, I could see why. I could see that. Everyone did have those in 30K. They would seem popular to me. And I like that brightness. I think because too in a miniature game they're so small that they look cool to be bright, which is funny to me because if I were to like pick my style of miniature, it'd probably be like really muted and like dead grayish colors. You know what I mean? Like even yellow would be super dingy or whatever. This ghost is cool. Look at it crawling up his side. That's so awesome. It's got to be a lot of work. I should have asked him how long this thing took. I've seen a lot of these giants painted well. We'll see if they're too bright. If they're too bright, I dump in that layer. Blanchitsu. Titan horns. I feel like playing Titan horns. I should just put that on loop. It's just like, what if you were, if you were that, like, what kind of crazy person would you be if you had that Titan horn that I play in here on loop, and that was like the music you listen to? It's like, just like, and you just sit in a room alone, draw, and listen to a Titan horn go off. Yes, just like put me in the institution now. Oh, this is gonna be a bit funky, people. I don't know why. Okay, so let's do this. Yeah, it's all dark and muted. And I can see that's the way I would probably end up going. And it's just because I do like so many of these styles, you know what I mean? You see a ton of stuff, and I like this style, I like that style. You almost like want it all. I think maybe that is what I like about them is that even if you went, I've seen some great battle worn ones. Oh, what's going on here? It's not working as intended. Hmm. These have a layer mask on them that I didn't detect, and then it changes how I interact with it. Interesting. What if I collapse these? And I still have the layer mask if I need it, so be it. I have been enjoying the foundations good enough for me. It's been entertaining enough. Ghosts, haunts. I gotta remember the new rule. I gotta have a rule on Paintover Day is gonna be put the name of the model in there. The Titan horn and Arma is so cool. Oh, you know who's the Iron Warriors? Mal, Games Mal Martin has a cool. He's got a really cool Iron Warriors. I think I did a paint over at one point. Ooh, that's right. He has a paint over for me back in the black and white days. Thanos, thanks for making it. Appreciate you swinging by. Just kind of hanging out, doing a little digital painting, or whatever it is I do. I was doing this one, and I was trying out a naval battle one, like Mantic. I wanted to do. I watched some of those, or to watch some of the art. There's a game called World of Warships, and they have some load screen art that I've seen before, and then looked up their shots, and they're just. I love the way their ocean looks, and they do such great depth on it. Mine's not nearly there, but you gotta learn. I still dig it though. What am I doing here? There we go. What did I just turn off? There. Yeah, all that stuff. The endless grind. That's yeah. But when I play stuff, I don't grind. I do still have that game, but what I'll like log in and it's like, all right, run two of them, throw some shots at something. It's like a whatever shooting simulator, and then log out. Ethanos, throw a lightning bolt in the back and you'll be able to blast in some contrast and light up some foreground. Yeah, I could. Like this one, I was almost get ready to call it. I could do that and like shadow underneath the wave more and stuff. Maybe I will eventually do that on this one because like I need to. I don't have a good technique for shading the water. You know what I mean? You can tell I'm using the airbrush. I need to make it more into shapes instead of just like blending. Just airbrushing it around. So like the contrast in some of the spots is a bit off. Like I'm still okay with it. Like I feel happy enough with it, but To make it better, I need to, like, especially that big wave, darken in under here. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm trying to avoid. That's what, because, like, I'm just trying to, like, crank it out instead of, like, actually rendering it like waves. I want to, like, skip by, and some things you can't, obviously. You got to sit there and actually do the job of painting. Yeah. Do it. Does it? You know which one I loved? Oh man! And I put in the game and I played it a few times just to see the game. I loved everything about it in a way, except it got ruined when it would come to the ship to ship combat. When someone um, would board, is what is that? Sea of Thieves. The rolling ocean in there and shooting a cannon was so fun. Oh, the dog. Of course, the dog. That is a little bit too dark there, buddy. Let me go. Maybe we can try cheating with. Wait, what is this ocean's brush like? It's almost cheating. It's going the wrong way there. Yeah, I thought Sea of Thieves was like, I loved sailing and shooting, but then when someone would board your ship or you would try to board those, it was the worst combat known to man, in my opinion. Like, you could not line anything up. It was like it's awkward bouncing around and like slashing. Everyone's passing you and like just weird. Let me go get the dog some food. I'll be right back in a few. Not even a minute. Guess who's back? Back again. I can't leave now and have Lee in charge when I'm gone because there's no mic. Ethanos, are you Ethanos on Twitter? Do I know you from Twitter? Oh, what happened to my pencil here? Every once in a while, it seems like the Apple Pencil, it like becomes unresponsive, and I just gotta plug it in and plug it back. Yeah, and I'd have to darken the sky back there too. Well, see, that's where I usually just get to the point where I'm just like, oh, move on, do it and go and catch it in the next one. Oops. Wrong tool. And that's the other thing. I gotta buy some more tools. I gotta get some more tools in here. I've pretty much not maxed out, but I mean, there's things I could be doing fast with just a few different tools. And so I gotta kind of go through and see how bright I want to get these guys. They're too bright already. Dun, dun, dun. A little bit of dirt and stuff in front, especially his legs. Get somebody's hand or he's swinging. You know what? I'm gonna go in and blur some of the edges on this dude. Get a little blend. A wee bit of a blend. Oh, and the light. See, that's why you. I guess I can still do it. It is a wee bit of a blend. Well, should not be doing this either because then if I went to isolate it, I guess I could use the other one. I love the haunts. I just love the, like, I don't know, just that they do some good flowing forms with them, and I've seen so many people use them in such cool ways. I love this one crawling up. That's so creepy. Oh, Wheel of Time's got to be coming out soon. Almost here. Yeah. Seems like they're getting back on with like the shows. And I don't mind because that's my little nightly. I put one. I usually watch something at night, whatever it is. Sometimes I'll pry myself away from working on stuff and then actually watch the show like I do. I watch it for foundation where I try not to be doing anything, and so I actually like fully watch that show. Same with when Expanse was out, I was watching that. What's funny is I still have like three mid-November. I still have a couple episodes of The Expanse I haven't watched. Actually, I'll go back and do that. Maybe that'll be on the docket. I literally left a couple because I didn't. I was enjoying it, so I'm like, oh, I don't want it to be over. So then I save a couple, which I shouldn't do. I should just go finish it. Oh yeah, and Dune's coming soon. I might actually go to a theater to see it. Oh, I didn't know that. Season 6 does come out in December, so alright. I will watch it and finish it then. Yeah, 6 episodes. At least they should get to finish it because that was a lot that was going on. There's still a lot that I'm watching in the season, the season 5 that I still have going on. And the Ted Lasso's over. I was like, oh, I bet you'll see some more quote unquote kind of feel good type shows coming out, which I'll be thankful for. What's funny is when I was a kid, you could never get any like serious or like I don't know, you would say like violent, you know what I mean? Like a Game of Thrones. Like you could never get something like that. And now I feel like everything's like Game of Thrones. So that I'm like, it's like they always sway like heavy one way or the other. I'm like like I can appreciate some stories that are like, the violent type and kind of like shocking deaths, blah blah, but I also want some that are like kind of lighthearted and whatever, just half feel good or something, and it seems like they're so light on those these days. So I was glad, like they came around with something like Ted Lasso where I actually enjoy it. I can never get into like cop shows or lawyer shows really or anything much. I think I always needed like some sort of fantasy world. Like there has to be something that intrigues me about the world. I think. I mean, I'm sure there's exceptions, but for the most part, I like a fantastic, fantastical place. Something fantastical. What layer is that on? This one. What is that wiping out? It's wiping out way too much. They're blended together. So fantasy judgment. I need my little protective tip. Where is it? I've just been tapping away for like an hour. Probably going to end the stream soon enough, and now I'm looking for the protective tip. Oh well. Listen, tap away. Oh, here I'll go. Now I got it. Hmm. And I still got to watch some more of, and I was enjoying it. So that's what's weird too. Like, I'll watch some shows and then I just don't even, and I want to watch it and I don't end up going back. Like, I did Helsing, which I thought was going really cool, and then I'm like, oh, I didn't watch that in a while. So that one might, that's a good, I like that one as a background one too. That's a good little background show. It's got enough interesting stuff, and I dig the stories, like kind of out there but still make sense. That's probably old by now. I don't even know what year that thing was out. Oh yeah, it's got to be old. Isn't it the old square format? And I bought on Amazon. I bought the full 65 episodes of Galaxy Rangers. Gosh, it's been so long. And then I always thought it was cool, and then I rewatched. I was like, oh, that's why it was cool. I did have great taste as a kid. It tells a legit story and has some like the third episode. If you ever see like I would say watch the third one if you ever want to see what the episode is about. It's like this evil queen was she's like some space queen, right? So it's got all they make these crystals. It's like sci-fi. The the enemy was funny is Billy Idol. Like they made the evil super trooper so like all their people are really punk, right? It's like total punk because it was made late 80s when and what's funny is the evil guy is has a British accent and he's not evil. They were all like on the super soldiers team, right? And they kind of get sold out by this bad general and they get almost like experimented on. But then part of them, then they're like go rebel, you know what I mean, and like break away. And he because they always did like the Brits with the evil accent, and then he was like, and they literally draw him like Billy Idol. He's got sunglasses and like the white hair and everything. So I was cracking up. I'm like, oh, he's totally the villain. And so they went with this type of punk stuff. So it's very much reminded me of 40K. And so they get all these gunslingers. So it's like all these different drawn aliens are like in these arenas, and they're fighting, and then the whole arena has all these banners around the top. And I was like, oh gosh, I like that stuff. Even at that age, kids, I was like, this has everything. It has like the banners, it has the gunfighters in like this arena and all kinds of like sci-fi stuff going on. I was impressed. I was like, this show had a lot going on for a cartoon. So I got 65 episodes of that to watch. I think I watched 3 of them. Posted the whip in Discord. All right. I can't get to Discord right now. Oh, yes, maybe I can. You know what I'll do? Let me flash off here. We will go to. I will change devices real quick. Bam. Let me go look in Discord. Oh, there's Wolf Lords. Yeah, those aggressors. Those are so huge. Oh, and the Forge of Mars. Oh, Forge of Mars. I didn't know you were doing a huge size Wookiee bowcaster. That thing's cool. It almost does that like does that has a rubber band and stuff to fire that actually fires. Does that thing actually fire? That's cool. I was looking at Wolf Lord Lewis's aggressor. Oh, I like that. He's got a little chain fist on him. All right, let me get out of here. It sounds like Rogue Trooper. Oh, it very much. Yes. So it has Rogue Trooper in it. You'll see 40K ish in it. You'll see heavy Star Wars, and it's also very Western. They took the main good guy, or like the gunslinger good guy, is basically Clint Eastwood. He's drawn like Clint Eastwood. He's got the Clint Eastwood stuff. So the bad guy is Billy Idol. The good guy, I mean, there's more good guys than there's a whole team, but it starts kind of with him because he's like the super soldier. And the the like who's this the the woman super trooper is like, I don't know, like Black Star or something. So she has like like a black star over her face that looks totally like the stereotypical like punk, like what an artist thought punk rock was who wasn't punk. And so they drew like the star on the face and everything. But yeah, it has a total Rogue Trooper vibe. They What I like too, like even now rewatching, I was like, oh yeah, they had a. You could tell it was taking kind of the Star Wars thing because they had a lot of different like aliens right off the get. So it was like in episode 3, you're seeing all these different aliens, and they got the classic trader. He's like the merchant, and all that kind of stuff. So they put. I was surprised. I mean, like the third episode, it just had so much stuff in it. I was like, wow. And I mean that some of those, it's been so long. What is that? 30 some years, 35 years. It's a Nerf one. Oh, so it does fire. Don't poke anyone's eye out. Don't poke anyone's eye out. Halloween, is that for Halloween? You gonna go run around as a Wookiee? Like I'd love to go at this age and go trick or treating. Like I'm a big dude. Just like totally go trick or treat. Like trick or treat. Dress up as something and go to like these houses and try to get candy. I mean, why not? I'm apparently into miniatures 24/7. Ooh, that'll look good with a little glow on here. Just a touch. He didn't put a lot, so I don't want to put a lot. Forge of Mars has all the cool toys. A Nerf bowcaster. Mm-hmm. Let me look through some of these. I've been getting some good response on those animations. That's been cool. So I think that'll help on like YouTube for the shorts. They've been getting good watch rate and stuff, and also doing surprisingly decent on Reddit. Reddit's been cool to me, and So I think when I really start tightening things up, and then I got some ideas of, how to just make it more viewable for YouTube and what someone would really want to watch. It'll still take me a while to get there, but we'll get there. Ah, okay. Right on. Dun, dun, dun. I laugh. Those, it's like hour 18. I'm like, oh yeah, I've been streaming a while. And, you're like, oh yeah, maybe I'll stop streaming. And then I think of like the YouTube gamers that are streaming 10 to 12 hours a day, every day for a year, like over a year. That's how much time, like, yeah. That's why I even fired this up. I'm like, man, I got to get back in the stream flow, and I need to start putting in a lot more hours for this stuff. I already work at it all the time, like doing the paintovers, but I'm like, I gotta do that side of the stuff. I'm like, I don't have any like huge hopes for YouTube or like thing, but I'm like, okay, I could probably get it so another year and a half or so, maybe I can get it monetized to bring in a little bit. I'll have a plan for it like later, but right now it's like, okay, try to find content that people like and would watch. I love what he did in that face. It's like headless. It's so awesome. I don't post on Reddit. I was surprised. I was like, oh, let me go try, because I had set up an artist empire there, and I was like, oh, I'll go post. And I remembered how easy it was. You know what I mean? It's literally like the title and here's the picture, and that's normal. And I'm like, oh wait, that fits me because I don't like writing anything. And so I posted a couple and got much better response than I thought, and so that's been surprising. And it'll bring me, quite a few people watch. And then if I drop a picture and I put a link into it to the YouTube, a lot of people will go check it out. And I see that side of stuff growing for me. And that's kind of why I was like, oh man, like put a bunch of time into making those shorts and figuring some of that out, because these are the Tales of the Galaxy Rangers. They have a great intro. One thing that stuck with me, that intro, they had their spaceships are like super close to the ground, and they like cut straight through the screen, and the dust flies up and it comes right at you or whatever, the spaceships, and that scene always stuck with me. It's one of those, I think, like, we were talking about it with the manga and stuff, and had like the action kind of speed line effect on. It was like a American produced cartoon, but they sent it over maybe Japan. I don't know what country, but I know like Asian country. It could, you know what I mean? Because I forget the name of the production house. But anywho, so it kind of had a mix. So it was like it wasn't hardcore manga, but you could see the flavor in it, and they tried to make it more Western, and I actually kind of liked it. It was almost like taking, the best of both and trying to combine them. Should I try another Star Wars rewatch? I mean, see, I think for the younger generation, I don't see how Star Wars would have a big as an impact. Like, I still think it's solid, like especially the original trilogy, but I don't think it could have as big as an impact, and it might not be as good of a movie when you have all those other ones now. You have a good one for Jamars. Good night. Sleep tight. See you on the flip side. Okay, you do like it? Yeah. I don't know. You know what I mean? For me, when I watched it as a kid, there's nothing. Maybe you got some cheesy um, sci-fi TV shows, right? That's it. So, in like, there's like two or three cheesy sci-fi shows, and that's it. And so when that came out, the fact that it was like done well and something you liked and was cool, oh my gosh, it was mind blowing. And just the wait, like years for stuff, and you'd see anything. You're looking at like art books or something in a Sears catalog for a toy just because you just something Star Wars. It's like there's no internet to show you anything or none of that stuff. Back in my day, we didn't have your fancy internets, your Googlers. There weren't no Googlers running around in my day. Thank God. Like, I'd probably be an absolute wreck if there was like an internet when I was like a kid. Like, at least I was outside running around. I probably would have been all plugged in. I mean, I sort of okay prequel hate. Okay, so hit George Lucas's next three. I get the prequel hate for, and I don't hate it. Like, I'm like, okay, they're to me they're not as good as the first three, but I don't have enough energy to really be a hater of anything. And but so the first things I'll say is it was a change in aesthetic. So to me, the original Star Wars, one of the reasons I loved it was so like gritty. You know what I mean? When you saw those sand troopers with the land speeder going through the dusty desert, it was like, oh, here's a dusty desert. Everything looks worn. And when the prequels came out, I get that it's supposed to be like when it's the Republic and they're stronger, so clothes are cleaner. You're not all living in the desert. I get all that, but it still looked like too polished. And I mean, some of that was the ton of use of CGI and that. So I think the visual look of it for me was a throw. And then the actor who played Darth Vader, I didn't care for him much. So that kind of threw me off. And a story, so like I love the fact, like George Lucas, when he does like, okay, I just want to see what his story is. So I was a fan of basically George Lucas's story almost more than Star Wars. Like I'm like, here's a guy you I kind of grew up on that stuff, so you want to see where the story's going, and like this person had an idea for his, and we spent so much time, like literally like decades, like oh, we're trying to figure out what he was going to do and what the movie's going to be about, and then so I wanted to see his version, and so for me when it was the newest three, when it was like the first movie of the newest three was basically like a reboot, and I was like, oh, George Lucas wouldn't have done that. You know what I mean? There's no way that would have been the third story in the series because it's exactly like the first. You know what I mean? Or the whatever. You know what I mean? But I loved I in the prequels. I dig the Senate stuff. I dig a lot of that how it was actually made, and obviously there was some really cool like effects and just like stormtroopers and some design stuff in that. But yeah, I in general I don't consider them as good as the first three, even though there's definitely parts I liked of them, and overall would say I enjoyed the movies. The newest ones just I don't dig on them. I probably liked them like less and less. Like the first one because it was a reboot, I was kind of like oh, right off the get. So I think that like soured me right from the get go. Yeah, yeah. Oh, there was some great concepts. There was some great battles. There was I mean I even love the what's it, Grievous like that was just cool. There was a lot. Oh, Darth Maul. I was bummed. I was like, okay, Darth Maul was one of the shining things. Like, okay, this is your badass or whatever. It's like this is you like your cool bad guy. And then when he was gone, like almost kind of right away, I was like, oh man, like I don't know. And then like Count Dooku, I was kind of like, okay, I get it, but to me, he didn't have the same visual appeal as Maul. Darth Maul. There's more. I know, and that's another. So I watched some Clone Wars back in the day. Really liked it. Never ended up finishing that. I should go. That's another one that should kind of make the background because those I can follow. What's funny is I generally like um, some. It's hard to find the ones I like, but like when it's an animated show. I find they don't try to get as confusing or convoluted. What I like is some of the DC animated movies the the DC animated Wonder Woman is particularly good. It's basically where they got the whole concept for the movie, which obviously the cartoon was taken from the comics and then blah blah blah. But the cartoon Wonder Woman is really good, and there's a couple other DC. The director or producer that was responsible for a lot of those at DC, I forget his name, but he's really good at his job. Yeah, season eight. I heard, dude, you can hear endless great things from everybody about Clone Wars. You know what I mean? That's the one thing I'm like that they get a lot of respect from like pretty much everybody. Nope, too much highlight. Gonna have to kill a bunch of it. 5:30, huh? You know what? Thanks for joining me today. Appreciate chatting with you. Good luck on the minis. I'm sure I'll be seeing you in Discord later. I gotta go give the dog his shot. It's been a little too long, but I'm gonna go give him a shot and probably take him outside for a walk. So thanks a lot. It's gotta be kind of late for you. You have a good evening, and I will be seeing you around. How do I turn this off? And I wish I could watch it again for the first time. There are some shows like that. Like the new Battlestar, it's like 10 years old or whatever. When that was coming out, I really enjoyed that because it was done right. That was one of the last times I really liked, a TV show that I was like enjoying. I thought that was done good.